morning, guys. Okay, we are off to another lesson, and before you start this lesson, though, you need to make sure that you've done things that lead up to it. This is all in a sequential order, and if you don't do the previous assignments, then this won't make as much sense. So, with that said, you need to make sure you have read Chapter 1, Section 1 in the book, and that you completed assignment number 4, note-taking skills. If you completed this assignment, that means that you read through this. So as long as you have this assignment done, then you should be ready to go. Okay, before you do get started today, you need a few things. First, you need your textbook to refer to. You need something to write with. You need that note page that you did before because you've got to answer questions and you're going to find the information from that page. And then you need your composition book. If you are at home working on this, if you just write your answers on a piece of paper, we can glue or staple it into your composition book later, and that'll be okay. Okay, so what I want you to do first is open up your composition book to a fresh page. Fresh. And on a new page in your composition book, you're going to copy the question in the chart. And this is the question that I want you to write. Identify 4 major purposes of government and give an example of each. So you're going to write that on yours. Then you have to do a chart. And here's what the chart looks like. Just draw this frame out like that and then label it purpose and example. So identify 4 major purposes of government. 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes, 4 purposes of government. Then you're going to give an example of each. And we will start this together. You're going to fill in the chart by using your notes from the worksheet, or you can look back at the section in the book. I think it's page 5 to 12 or 5 to 11. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start filling in the chart. The question here is identify 4 major purposes of government and give an example of each. So we need our 4 purposes. If you look in your book at your headings, you have here the purposes of government. You did this already. Now, as you start to read, just skim through. Today, government serves several major purposes for the state. Boom! These are going to be your 4 things. Number 1, to maintain social order. Number 2, to provide public services. Number 3, to provide for national security and a common defense. And number 4, to provide for and control the economic system. Boom! That's 1, 2, 3, 4 purposes of the government. Right there. So, go ahead and put those there. I'll give you a model. Maintain social order, that's the first one. It goes in your first box. You can fill out the rest if you need to pause it and write. Go ahead and do that. Okay, now we got to look for an example of maintaining social order. And for that, I'm going to skim through the section about maintaining social order. Just skim. I'm going to read really quickly out loud just in case you just want to listen. John Locke, writing in 2 Treatises of... I don't want to read that. That's a quote, because that says my answer is not going to be in there. According to the social contract theory, people need government to maintain social order because they have not yet discovered a way to live in groups. We don't have an example of maintaining social order yet, so we got to keep reading. There are many sources of conflict in any group. 2 people may argue over the boundary line between their properties. Members of a community may disagree about what is best for the group. In any group, some members may try to take unfair advantage of others. Conflict seems to be an inescapable part of group life. We still don't have our answer yet. We still don't have an example because this is just talking about the reasons that we need to maintain social order. Here's what we got. Governments provide ways of resolving conflicts among group members, hoping to maintain social order. Governments have the power to make and enforce laws. Governments can require people to do things they might not do voluntarily, such as pay taxes or serve in the army. Governments also provide structures, such as courts, to help people resolve disagreements in an orderly manner. That paragraph right there, that is your kicker. That is what you're going to put your examples here. Maintaining social order. Things that government does. Without government, civilized life would not be possible. Government controls and contains conflict between people by placing limits on what individuals are permitted to do. Government provides a group with law and order. An effective government allows citizens to plan for the future, get an education, raise a family, and live orderly lives. Okay, so my example that I'm doing for you, law enforcement and courts and police. This is what the government provides for its purpose of maintaining social order. This is what we have. We have a few more things. These examples are good enough. Okay. Now, you're going to need to do the rest of this part by yourself. And these 6. So you need to skim through providing public services, providing national security. Those go in your boxes, but you need to find examples. Here's the last page. Making economic decisions is the last purpose. It goes here. You need to skim through this and find examples to go there. That's your assignment right now. Pause it and complete it. Okay, now that you're done with the previous question and chart, you need to turn to a new page in your composition book. And your task is going to be that on that new page, you need to copy the following question. If you need to pause it and copy it, feel free. Here's the question. Identify 2 examples of public policy, then tell the pros and cons of each. You don't have to write in paragraph form unless you really want to, but make sure this is on your page before you continue on. If you need to pause and write, go ahead. Okay, on the page before, I said that you need to identify 2 examples of public policy and write the pros and cons of them. And you're going to choose your examples from this list right here. These examples cover a wide array of things that you can write about. Public policy laws just mean that government put in laws to make society better, easier for us to live in. And there are different opinions on each of these. So I'm just going to read through a few of them. Well, I'll read through all of them quickly, but I'll talk about a few of them. And you need to think about which ones you want to do. When courts and legislatures make the decision to legalize same-sex marriage, they may take into account what they believe is good for the public as a whole. They may also consider cultural ideas on this issue. So your first topic you could choose from is legalization of same-sex marriage. What are the pros? What are the cons? If you say that you are against same-sex marriage, you might have an easy time writing the paragraph about cons, but you also need to flip your mindset. And even if you don't agree with same-sex marriage, you need to put the pros that someone else might think same-sex marriage has. You got to think about it from both sides, no matter what you believe or what you are interested in. Number 2, prostitution and the purchase of stolen goods is illegal. The courts don't want to encourage wrongful behavior. Now, you can do this one. I'm going to do that one for a model for you. So I'm going to answer that one. Number 3, the law in the United States says that a person cannot sell his or her body, including selling organs or selling the body for intercourse, which of course means sex. You can write about that one if you'd like. What are the cons of this being illegal? What are the pros of it being illegal? Number 4, wage and hour laws are in place in America. The policy is to protect the rights of workers within the society. This one affects you guys specifically because I know a lot of you have jobs, and I know that there are restrictions on when you are allowed to work. Companies technically cannot make minors work before and after certain hours, or more than so many hours in a day. So those are put in place for you. I want you to think, what are the pros of those laws and what are the cons of those laws? What are the good sides and the bad sides? Number 5, lawmakers passed the Violence Against Women Act, showing that there is a priority to provide protection for women. You might want to go, if you want to do this one, go Google or look up Violence Against Women Act. Read about it a little bit. See what it really says so that you know what to write. What are the pros and cons of that act? Number 6, lawmakers imposed a progressive tax system showing that those who make more money should pay more into the system and those who have less should pay less. What are the pros of that public policy? What are the cons of it? Number 7, a state imposes tough restrictions on abortion, showing that life should be viewed as beginning as an embryo, or lessens restrictions showing that life begins at birth. So basically, this one could be interesting to do. Abortion. Tough restrictions on abortion means showing life. Let's see. Showing life should be viewed as beginning as an embryo. Okay, if you impose tough restrictions on abortion, that means that in your state, abortion is illegal or nearly illegal. And the reason it's like that is because the government is trying to portray this fact here that life should be viewed when you are an embryo. That's when life starts. However, in other states, the government can lessen restrictions, meaning that it can make abortion completely legal, or it can make it legal later into the maybe second, third trimester. And that is implying that life begins at birth. So just if you're going to do this one, approach it as just abortion. What are the pros of abortion being illegal? What are the cons of abortion being illegal? Or you could say, what are the pros of abortion being legal? And what are the cons of abortion being legal? You get that. Okay, the last one. When tougher gun laws are enacted, this implies that stricter laws are likely to lower crime and keep guns out of the hands of criminals, which is more important than an individual's right to arms. When looser gun laws are enacted, this prioritizes the rights of gun owners and implies that a stronger gun laws will not be effective in stopping violence. Gun laws. This is a hot button issue right now with all these school shootings and stuff like that. If you're gonna do this one, you can pick a side. Say that you want gun laws to be stricter. Okay, say that you want them to be stricter, which means that individuals can't have as much freedom as they want to with those guns. What are the pros of having strict gun laws? What are the cons of having strict gun laws? Say you want to go the other way around. If you want to do loose gun laws, you think that loose gun laws should be in place. Do the pros of having loose gun laws, and then there are the cons of having it, because you do need to view both sides. Okay, so keep in mind which ones you want to do. All right, you should have your composition book open, and you should have the question written here. Now, you're going to write 2 paragraphs about each. You're going to write 2 paragraphs each about 2 public policy examples from the list. So, I'm going to do one for you to show you what it should look like. And I'm going to do the prostitution and the purchase of stolen goods is illegal. The courts don't want to encourage wrongful behavior. So you cannot do this one because I'm doing it. But you can do 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. Okay. So next thing you need to do is under the question, you need to write the topic. A topic for mine is that illegal, prostitution and purchase of stolen goods. If you want to say, talk about abortion, choose. Do you want to talk about it being illegal or illegal? So you can put legal, abortion, then write the cons of legal abortion and the pros of legal abortion. So that this is going to change for your specific purpose. Okay, Then this is one of it says write 2 paragraphs. This is your first paragraph. This is where you're going to write your prose. And I've gone on and said some positive aspects of prostitution and the purchase of stolen goods being illegal are the following. 1. Immoral behavior is discouraged. Number 2. There is less incentive for people to steal from you. And 3. Spread of sexual diseases is limited. So, with prostitution and stolen good purchasing illegal, these are what I think are the pros to that law. So you can set it up like me, where you say this, you have a sentence like this, but about your own thing, and then you have 1, 2, 3, and you list off what you need to list. That's fine. Next, we're going to do the cons. Okay, some negative aspects of prostitution and the purchase of stolen goods being illegal are the following. Notice I have it set up the same way as up here. It's just different information. 1. Criminal activity will continue on the black market. 2. The freedom... Oh, I have a typo. The freedom to do what you want with your body is removed. 3. More people end up in prison for nonviolent crimes, burdening our taxpayers. Those are the things that I think are the cons of having prostitution and the purchase of stolen goods to be illegal. Okay, you're going to do your own. I'm going to go back so you can't see that yet. Okay, now you're going to do your own in your book. You choose whichever ones you want here. 2 of them, not the one I did though. You're going to do 1 on this page. Then you're going to flip to the back page or your next blank page, whatever. And you're going to set it up the exact same way. You're going to have the question. You're going to have the topic. Your topic is going to be different for your second one. Then you're going to have the pros. Again, those are going to be different. And they're going to go with the new topic. The cons going to go with the new topic. Set it up just like this, but put your own information in. So how many do you have? 2 examples. So this is 1 example. You need to write 1 and then write another one. If you still have questions, you need to come ask me or text message me. Once you are finished, I want you to double check to make sure that you have written on 2 of the examples, and then you can just turn in your composition books. So, if you have any questions, come ask me, shoot me a text message, or ask a friend. Okay, have fun, and I hope you have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.